Fleet Admiral Thexandor had built his career on meticulous preparation. In 47 years of military service across the Nexarite Empire, he had never launched an invasion without studying every detail about the target world: military capabilities, population centers, resource locations, cultural weaknesses, and most importantly, the planet's designation in the Galactic Registry. Today's mission should have been routine. The target was listed simply as Sol 3 in the initial briefings, a small blue-green world in an unremarkable star system at the edge of what the humans called the Milky Way. Intelligence reports described a relatively primitive civilization with basic nuclear capabilities and crude chemical rockets, perfect for a quick conquest to secure resources for the Empire's expanding territory. The invasion fleet of 800 ships had been traveling through hyperspace for 3 standard cycles when Admiral Thexandor decided to review the complete planetary database one final time. He was a thorough commander, and something about this mission felt too easy. In his experience, when something seemed too good to be true, it usually was. Computer, display full planetary designation and registry information for target Sol 3. He commanded from his flagship's bridge. The holographic display materialized before him, showing the standard data, orbital characteristics, atmospheric composition, magnetic field strength, and at the bottom, the official Galactic Registry name: PLANETARYDEUSIGNAT. Admiral Thexandor stared at the display for a long moment, his 3 hearts gradually increasing their rhythm. His green-scaled hands began to tremble slightly as he reread the name. "Computer," he said slowly, "confirm planetary designation. CONFIRMEDPLANETDESIGNATIONISARTHA. The Admiral's mouth went dry. Around the bridge, his officers continued their duties, oblivious to the cosmic horror that had just been revealed. None of them were old enough to remember the stories. None of them had been taught the ancient warnings passed down through the military academies of a dozen species. Navigation. Thexandor barked suddenly, causing his bridge crew to jump. Emergency course change. Full reverse. Get us out of hyperspace immediately. Sir? Commander Yeltaris looked up from her station in confusion. Admiral, we're less than 6 hours from target insertion. Is there a tactical concern? Tactical concern? Thexandor's voice cracked with hysteria. TACTICALCONCERN? We're about to invade EARTH. The bridge fell silent. His officers exchanged glances, clearly thinking their admiral had suffered some kind of breakdown. Sir, Commander Yeltaris said carefully, yes, that's the mission. Sol 3, designated Earth. It's just another primitive world, sir. Just another. Thexandor stared at his second-in-command, as if she had just suggested attacking a supernova with a slingshot. Commander, how old are you? 47 standard years, sir. And your education covered which historical periods? The standard curriculum, sir. The Great Expansion, the Nexarite Formation, the War of Seven Sun. Nothing older? Nothing about the First Contact Wars? The period we call the Silent Terror? Commander Yeltaris shook her head, along with most of the bridge crew. They were all young, all educated in the modern era when the ancient histories had been deemed non-essential knowledge. Admiral Thexandor felt very old and very alone. Computer, access historical archives. Priority, alpha clearance. Display all references to the planetary designations Earth from the restricted historical database as CCESSING, WARNINGRIUS, TRIC, TEUD, HIS, TORI, CALC, ONT, EENT, PSY, CHOLOGIACLCUNSALINGREEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeee display filled with text, but it wasn't the neat, organized reports that modern databases contained. These were fragments, scattered emergency transmissions, partial logs from destroyed ships, desperate warnings, encoded in a dozen different languages. URGEENT, TRA, NSM, ISS, IONCYGNAREMP, IREEAEX, PED, IT, IONARYFORCE. The beings of Earth have somehow reversed our own plasma cannons against us. Impossible defensive capabilities. Request immediate evacuation. They're welcoming us with something called hospitality, but we're terrified. KETEAA, AIE, AT, TLA, FLEA. Tried to establish dominance through superior firepower. The humans responded by improving our weapons and giving them back. This violates every known law of warfare. Planet designationed Earth to be marked as EXT, REMETH, REAT. ZEENT, ARIAM, PE, RIALNAV, YEMERGEENC, YBROADCAST. They invited us to something called a barbecue after we surrendered. The food was excellent, but we couldn't stop crying. Don't know why. Recommend avoiding planet Earth at all costs. The reports went on for thousands of entries, spanning millennia. Every major military power in galactic history had, at some point, encountered Earth. None had succeeded in conquering it. More disturbing, none of the surviving reports could adequately explain exactly what had happened to them. Commander Yeltaris read over his shoulder, her scales gradually shifting from their normal blue to a pale, sickly green. "Sir, these reports, they don't make sense. How can a primitive civilization defeat so many advanced species?" "That's just it, Commander," Admiral Thexandor said grimly. "According to these logs, they don't defeat you. They do something much worse." What could be worse than military defeat? The Admiral highlighted one particular report, barely 3 lines long, but somehow more terrifying than all the others. VORTEAEANEPIREFLEETADEEAEAEALAS. We ended up staying for the wedding. My daughter married one of them. I'm going to be a grandfather. Send help. They don't destroy invading fleets, Commander, Thexandor explained with growing dread. They integrate them. They make you want to stay. They make you care about them. Half these reports end with former invasion commanders requesting citizenship. The bridge crew had gathered around the display now, reading report after report of invasion forces that had somehow transformed into immigration requests, battle groups that had turned into cultural exchange programs, and military commanders who had ended up running human food trucks. Navigation. Admiral Thexandor commanded with renewed urgency. Emergency jump to hyperspace. Course anywhere but here. "Sir," the navigation officer reported nervously, "we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. DONOTAENSWERIT. Sir, it's already connected." They're very polite. A gentle voice filled the bridge. "Hello there. This is Sarah Chen from Earth's Department of Intergalactic Affairs. We noticed your fleet approaching and wanted to welcome you to our solar system. We've prepared guest accommodations if you'd like to visit, and my grandmother is making her famous apple pie. Are you folks hungry? You must have traveled such a long way." Admiral Thexandor gripped his command chair as he felt something terrifying happen, a warm feeling in his chest, a sudden concern for whether his crew had eaten recently, and an inexplicable curiosity about what apple pie might taste like. EMERGEN CYJUMP NOW MAXIMUMS PEED. But it was too late. The voice continued, impossibly kind and genuinely concerned. "Oh, are you leaving already? Well, if you change your minds, you're always welcome here. We have some lovely guest rooms, and I think you'd really enjoy meeting my neighbor Bob. He builds model spaceships as a hobby and would be thrilled to show you his collection." As the Nexarite fleet jumped to hyperspace in panicked retreat, Admiral Thexandor made an emergency broadcast to Nexarite High Command. "Mission aborted. Repeat, mission aborted. Planet Earth is to be classified as EXISTENT, IALTHRE, a TIEAPPEAR, a CHW, ITHEXTRIUEE. They have weapons we cannot defend against, kindness, hospitality, and something called apple pie. Request immediate psychological evaluation for all crew members. Also, does anyone know what a neighbor Bob is? Asking for a friend." 3 months later, Admiral Thexandor quietly submitted his resignation and put in an application for Earth citizenship. His official reason was cultural curiosity, but his crew noticed he'd been spending an unusual amount of time researching human wedding traditions. The name Earth was subsequently added to the Galactic Registry's list of planets too dangerous to invade, right between nightmare dimension of infinite spiders and that place where mathematics doesn't work. Some threats, the military handbook now noted, are too terrible to fight.